I haven't quite addressed this too directly. The complete fabrication of the media and events that are created, false flag attack events like the recent shootings, many of these events don't even happen. And a lot of the times people are just, caught into this and you say, how could you say that? How could they do that? And you really just don't understand the bottomless pit of evil we're dealing with here, and that we're fighting this against this new world order. Um, they're moving these agendas forward. They want to take away the guns. They need to get our guns. They need to foster an approach where we willingly give up our rights and give up our weapons and fall under their rule. It would be far easier for them to do that than to confront us directly, which may one day occur if they continue to push. But what we have to understand is that there are definitely events that are not real that are being played as real. Here's a good example of this. I'm going to play you something right now.
And that is misinformation that's being posted on social media sites. It is important to note that we have discussed with federal authorities that these issues are crimes. They will be investigated statewide and federally, and prosecution will take place when people perpetrating this information are identified. Again, all information relative to this case is coming from these microphones, and any information coming from other sources cannot be confirmed, and in many cases it's been found is inaccurate. So I simply, that's the newest twist today, that we want to make sure that's perfectly clear that social media websites that contain information relative to this case are not being posted by the Connecticut State Police, are not being posted by the Newtown Police, are not being posted by any authorities in this case.
Misinformation coming from people posing as and using identities of those involved. Thus, we ourselves are warned to question any challenges to the official story of Sandy Hook posted on social media sites if the poster claims a Newtown identity. Perhaps this warning is not to garden variety YouTubers and the general public, but is meant for the drill participants. Do not raise questions or you will be prosecuted. We are watching you. IPAWS stands for Integrated Public Alert and Warning System, a Department of Homeland Security program that includes something called Smart 911. Smart 911 is a connection network you can sign up to that collects your pertinent information, name, address, phone numbers, and information of everyone you include, your spouse, sisters, brothers, children, uncles, aunts, neighbors, friends, your clan. If any person gets caught in a 911 situation, the network dials everyone. It has everyone's cell number, everyone's work number, everyone's information. You will be notified immediately, and so will everyone you love. The Department of Homeland Security conducts large-scale drills to test the IPAWS partner network, which includes law enforcement, emergency response, hospitals, media companies, and even Twitter. As a partner in Smart 911, you may get a message from ABC or CBS that an event has occurred that involves someone you know. Twitter is an IPAWS partner with a major role in crisis computation, mapping, and management. DHS objectives for protecting us, stated in its documents, include biometrics, or individual biological data that supercomputers will collate and analyze, clandestine tagging and tracking, surveillance in the form of hyperspectral imaging, and modeling, cultural, behavioral, and social modeling. This is where it gets so big, it's hard to believe what's going on. It could be that the horrific tragedies we're seeing reported on TV, with the identities of victims, shooters, bombers, the backstories, details, the emotions, and the histories, are all part of a giant management and observation experiment, a DHS grand-scale psychological, physical test series in which no one is actually hurt or killed, but which yields a tremendous amount of valuable information with built-in controllable variability, meaning turn the heat up, bring it down, and watch what happens. This is the creation of an artificial reality to permit the observation of real people in a controlled environment. I will repeat because this is very hard to grasp. They take an aspect of a drill, one of the drill events or scenarios, and report it as live. Everybody everywhere reacts, even the drill participants. I will repeat that. Everybody everywhere reacts, even the drill participants who don't know how the drill went wrong, or what happened, or who did what, or how it got corrupted. Then the big screen, wide-scale, real-time, moving phase begins. The spinning and enlarging of the false scenario conducted by the media is a DHS experiment within and upon a culture. This is the training and testing that will yield information with which to produce the optimal future society. This training and testing will contain modeling and surveillance, tracking and observing using huge numbers of people. This is a DHS project for the benefit of the whole. The wide-scale test has to happen, for without it there is no known direction. Thus, the second dimension serves as a tool to build the desired fifth dimension results. The third and fourth dimensions are the playgrounds which are observed as the testing is done. The fifth dimension contains the future. Our 3D setting and 4D experiences, and most important of all, the way we act, creates the 5D future. Now to FEMA itself. FEMA uses common alerting protocols called CAP. This is when multiple agencies go into motion. It can be a drill situation or a real-life event. Full use of all resources is called a capstone event. A capstone event requires real documentation in alignment with respective roles. ICE stands for Integrated Capstone Event. This is the coordination of multiple courses into a combined event deemed by FEMA to be extremely important because it replicates what will happen in an actual community. Sandy Hook was a capstone event on an even bigger scale than mere team integration. So was Boston. The point is not that they made things up. The point is all about how the story goes down. It replicates or creates what happens in an actual community, or an actual country, an actual planet, the world. I believe we are seeing extended artificial situations that are observed for years. A drill is a rehearsal to practice what to do in a future situation. In these supreme capstone drills, you see all resources in action using the third and fourth dimensions to mold the future. A pyramid is created with those who know the most at the very top in what is called the capstone, and the layers of resources below them know less and less. Here is Governor Malloy of Connecticut making a very interesting statement.
Earlier today, a tragedy of unspeakable terms played itself out in this community. Lieutenant Governor and I have been spoken to in an attempt that we might be prepared for something like this playing itself out in our state. You can never be prepared for...
So Governor Malloy seems to be someone at a very high level of the pyramid. Dr. Carver at his press conference behaved like someone who is not at the top of the pyramid. His nervousness and vague answers reflected knowledge of the artificial situation, but no real control. Lieutenant Vance of the State Police may be higher than Carver, as you can see even by his expression and body language. The members of the press at the conference might be on different levels of the pyramid. Some reporters asked genuine, reasonable questions that Carver couldn't at all answer. Yet if the situation had been real and he had seen bodies, he would have been able to answer. His famous words, "I hope the people of Newtown don't have this crash on their heads later," suggest that something abnormal was going on and might be eventually exposed. Towards the bottom of the pyramid are the people who know the least and are reacting to what the 2D story tells them. Those at mid-levels of the pyramid, some of whom may have played key roles without knowing how their contribution would be used, might be contractually silenced or intimidated or threatened in various ways. If things go radically wrong and you had a role in an event which resulted in deaths, you might well be terrified yourself. And all around the base of the pyramid, extending into the world, are ordinary people, millions of them, taking in the 2D information as they live their lives. These are the people the capstone eye is observing.